of a sudden I hit something in the middle of the fucking road. I fly over my handlebars going like 70 kilometers an hour down a hill. Om Shrim Klim Lakshmi Namane. Greetings. Namaste. How are you? I'm leaning into it, guys. We're still in Tulum. We're going hard. I'm the Prince of Tuluminati. You like my cape? It's pretty cool. I wasn't gonna wear the cape. I wanted to wear this like white tank top, this white singlet, but my tits were sticking out. So I'm self-conscious about my tits. So where do you go? I've been enjoying the shit out of making these videos. Hope you guys have been enjoying watching them. I actually received some, my first like some fan mail. It wasn't my first, I get a lot, dude. I'm fucking blowing up. Like and subscribe, hit that bell button, hit that notification button. Yo, but this is the kind of shit, if you're listening to this and you enjoy it, and you haven't sent me a message saying how fucking awesome I am, shame on you. You're part of the problem. I'm part of the solution. Hey bro, not sure if you remember me, but I met you when you were circus training in Melbourne. Yeah, I'm professionally circus trained in Melbourne, big deal. I don't like to talk about it a lot. Did I mention I was professionally circus trained in Melbourne? Cause was. I met you through beep. Just wanted to let you know, I think your videos are hilarious and entertaining. I was bummed out about having a couple of warts on my foot, and then I thought to myself, at least I'm not pissing bubbles. Huh. Keep up the positive attitude, bro. You're a funny cunt. Well, first off, thank you. I really appreciate that. Second off, fuck you, bro. Okay? Huh? You get a couple warts, you feel bad about your life, and you want to come after me? Huh? I promised I wouldn't get worked up. I did yoga this morning. I wear all white to be more spiritual, okay? You know how careful you have to be when you're eating food? With white, I do not trust a man who can wear white all day and never get a thing on. What is that motherfucker up to? That's like a weasel in the chicken coop. I'm the kind of dude, remember the breathing. I'm the kind of dude that could eat a sandwich and get crust in my eyebrows. And yes, I have eyebrows, okay? They're there. Don't make fun of me because my sister used to call me Powder. Okay? If you've seen the movie Powder, it's a guy, he has superpowers. Okay, I get that part. But then he has no eyebrows or no hair. And she said that to me, and I was so sad that I wanted to color them in with markers. So thanks for the trauma, sis. Huh? You don't like that I'm a stripper on OnlyFans? Well, maybe you should have chose your words more precisely when we were younger, okay? I could have been the presidential mayor of Nicaragua. And instead, look at me. I'm begging for pennies at an open mic tonight. Agua Cari Limon, stop by if you're around, even though this is going to be released after. But that's besides the point, okay? I'm not Powder. And fuck you, whoever you were who sent me this message, okay? No, please keep sending the messages. But I'm glad my health problems can like bring you guys some like solace and some like my doctor, like my urologist who saw the bubbles and he was like ha 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 ha. And I was like, hey, I appreciate your laughter, but I'm a comedian on stage and I'm a client in here, okay? So I would like to get my $40 worth because we're in Mexico and I'm frugal, okay? This channel is not meant to glorify drugs, even though they're glorious. They obviously have a lot of problems, so I would prefer if people look at these and they go like, wow, like, think of these as less legendary and more like cautionary, you know? So when I eventually get advertisers and I'm gonna get monetized because your boy's blowing up like you thought I would. So when I blow up advertisers, just know these are cautionary tales. Can somebody write me a legal is there some free man on the land, goddamn nut job, who just threw his license plate in the bush and is claiming not in the bushes. That would be a cause for assassination. In the bush, is there a free man on the land that knows the legalese to create a disclaimer at the starting of my video because everything I say is incriminating? And if I was making money off it, that would be fantastic because who cares? Then I can eventually get fuck you money and successfully burn all, because the bridges are smoldering right now. But I'd like to set them ablaze. Yeah, fight. Holy shit, I'm worried. So if there's somebody who can write some sort of like legal disclaimer for me, that would be fantastic, because every single one of these stories is fictional, allegedly, didn't really happen, someone who isn't me. But every time I like tell some of these stories on the podcast, first off I think, oh God. Like, dude, I got a message from my uncle the other day, and he's like, great stories in Mexico. Just remember to wrap your pecker, Davey boy. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. 2021, tits, vegan, in the Tuluminati, fully indoctrinated, drank all the Kool-Aid, and my fucking uncle is telling me I'm getting sex education lessons from my fucking stoner uncle who drinks like 8 liters. This motherfucker drinks 8 liters of chocolate milk. He was so probably fucking lactated, just straight lactated to the fucking gills, and I know about lactating. He's lactated to the fucking gills, and this motherfucker's telling me to wrap my pecker? Well, thanks, uncle, but thanks, man. Holy shit. But every time I like tell stories in these videos, I imagine like when I'm in the Human Rights Tribunal, I'm in the Human Rights Tribunal in Ottawa, and they just roll out this TV on a stand, and they're like, Your Honor, Exhibit A. And like my whole defense is like, yo, he's a good person, he did slip up, get arrested for, I got arrested, I'm gonna talk about that in another video, I got arrested on drug charges. But they're like, we know he had one minor indiscretion in the past, but you have to see, Your Honor, the whole body of work that my client has produced over the course of his lifetime, he's a good person. And then like, and then they're like, what would you like to say about this prosecutor? The defender's saying that, right? What would you like to say about this prosecutor? And he's like, Your Honor? And he just wheels us out and he just starts playing my YouTube. And I'm like, I have a flaming dick tassel. Does anyone want ketamine? Oh boy. This is really like, this is it, folks. I'm committed to you. I'm committed to the content because surely no one's gonna hire me anymore. Thank God not many people are watching these, because the ones that are, oh boy. I was thinking of just growing these babies out and like fully transitioning so I have a little fucking social cred and a little bit of leverage, a little bit of juice on the street with these juicy juicies. I keep it plump. Hey guys, fun, I quit smoking. I'm vaping, baby. We're vaping. Vape cod. Vape to Maloo. Man, there's people out there that are like, oh dude, vaping's not even better than cigarettes. Vaping is not any better than cigarette. Have you ever tried smoking cigarettes and then vaped? Because if you haven't, shut the fuck up. Just, shut the fuck up. It's like with my roommate, and he's like, yeah, dude, well, it's cool that you make money on OnlyFans, but statistically, like, I know you know, like, sex workers, that you think are healthy and stuff, but statistically, it's, like, all stemming from trauma, so, like, And I'm like, yo, what the fuck isn't stemming from trauma? I think some of you motherfuckers out there are just sour because weird shit happened to you when you were a kid, and you bottled it into some weird passive aggressive, you go home and play like fucking video games and shit because you don't even want to talk to women, and that's because of your sexual trauma. So someone like me that is turning the sexual trauma lemons into goddamn fiscal financial lemonade, and you can't stand it because you're not good enough to make a living off Xbox Live, are ya? But it's not about Xbox Live. It's about vaping. And you feel significantly better. The first time I switched from cigarettes to vaping, I was in Bali. About 2 years ago, I was in Bali. I broke my fucking collarbone. Gnarly. So I was on a motorcycle. And we did a fire show. Allegedly. This is all alleged. Me and my buddy did a fire show. And it was about a 30, 40-minute scooter ride. I was riding scooters back then because I was a boy. Riding a motorcycle now because I'm a man. You see how that works? Depends on your definition of what a man is. It's all subjective in this day and age. And so we did this show, and then afterwards, we were feeling it, man. We were drinking until they cut us off. We were lighting things on fire. Woo! Playing with kids. It was great. I got some pictures with the kids, because when you're drunk in other countries and you're a performer, it doesn't matter. It's not like weird. Like they're not like whistling and like yelling their safe word like they do back home. They're like, yay, friends, play, let's juggle, let's have some fun. And so once all the drinks ran out, once they stopped serving us drinks, because they always do. Closing time. They stopped serving us drinks, so then we had to start table diving. And I have a long history of table diving. We used to make that deep, deep swamp juice. We'd go around the party at the very end of the party and you just pour all the drinks into one water bottle and you just have that swamp swigger. I said swigger. Swigga. I said swigga. And then you walk home and drink that jungle juice, baby. So, you know, we did that after the show. We were table diving. And here's one thing you guys gotta know about me. When I get drunk, you know I'm drunk if I start talking about my father. That's like the He contacted me in a dream last night. It was amazing. I don't get called for him very much, so when Dad calls me in my dreams, I'm like, what's up? He does love me in the astral world, and nothing is what it seems in the Tuluminati. So we're drinking all these drinks after the show. We just did a great show. We're in Bali. It's like a couple weeks in. You're still in that like fucking honeymoon of the trip phase where everything's just like wonderful and magical before the reality of life hits you down a little bit, and then you realize wherever you go, there you are, and happiness is fleeting, and things like going somewhere or getting something, those are illusory experiences, and like the happiness from them will fade away, and then wherever you go, there you are. But we were still in the honeymoon phase, so we're getting wasted now. And guys, I do not condone. If you're watching this, please do not drink and drive. It's very, very, very unsafe. It is illegal. And whatever you do when you're in a foreign country driving a motorcycle, don't get that perfect like couple drink buzz. You know, that beautiful just like three and a half drinks, and you're just like, not only are you not worse at drive, you're on fire. You're like, you're switching lanes on the wood grain. Blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. It's not super fun, and you will not have the time of your life, and it is not easy to get away with while in a foreign country. Do you hear me? Don't do it. Don't drink it. Seriously, don't drink and drive. It's very irresponsible. This is a cautionary tale. So we're about to drive home, and I'm like, man, I've drank a lot. I don't know about this. I should be responsible, right? And he's like, yeah, dude, be responsible. So what do? As a responsible person I am, I go to like the 7-Eleven or whatever they have in Bali, can't remember because brain fried, and I just start pounding those fucking like Indonesian Red Bulls, like, okay, we gotta take one for the team here. So I drink a couple of those Red Bulls, throw on some punk rock music. I'm cruising, man. I'm going fast. I'm going 70, 80 kilometers, just having the time of my life. Woo! Mask off, digga! Woo, 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 woo. We're cruising down the road. All of a sudden, my friend's following me, right? All of a sudden, I hit something in the middle of the fucking road. I fly over my handlebars, going like 70 kilometers an hour down a hill. Narrow lanes, fucking drop-offs, both ways, one lane, blind corner, steep down a hill. I hit it, boom, parkour. I do a parkour roll over it, hit my head, boom, hit my head, parkour roll over, smash my shoulder. I'm just lying. Unfortunately, it's like really late because there might have been traffic. I'm just lying there. Why was I in the middle of the road? Because I was in the middle of the road this happened. Thank you for asking, I'll clarify. I was in the middle of the road because when you're in Bali in particular, they don't just like abuse animals, I think, like everywhere else in the world. They're actually like kind of cool with them. So as a result, there's like stray dogs everywhere, all over the roads. I was gonna make a joke. There's stray dogs all over the roads, and they like to chill out at night on the sides of the road. So you don't want to go on the side, you're gonna hit stray dogs, right? And so you go down the middle of the road. Boom, down the middle of the road, I hit something. And now I'm lying in the middle of the road like, eh. And I remember my friend just coming up to me and he's like, Shine, are you okay? And I'm like, And he thought I was fucking dead, dude. Like the look in his eye was like, oh. And so he like picks me up. I'm like, I'm cool, because I play it cool. You know me, ladies. You know me. I'm playing it cool. And he picks me up off the road, and then I start like kind of like hobbling to the side. He grabs my bike, and he's so panicked that he hits the accelerator on it. The bike, boom, goes flying into the fucking bush. He's freaking out. This other guy stops now. He thinks I'm dead. I'm like, guys, let's relax. Let's relax, right? He dusts me off and shit. We still have about like a 10-minute. We get my bike out. He's like, are you cool, man? You ride home? I was like, brother, I'm just getting warmed up. I wasn't like that at all. I was like, I think I'm good. Am I dead yet? Am I Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense? And so I get on my bike and my arm's feeling kind of mangled, but you know when you're in shock, like when an accident just happened? And so I grab the handlebars and I'm just riding home. Riding home with one arm. 10-minute drive through the jungle. Fortunately, like, it's an automatic transmission, so you don't have to worry about shifting gears. I couldn't do that with my new motorcycle. So we're making changes. I drive to the place. We finally get there like 10 minutes later. It's so cold and I'm in so much shock that I'm driving with one arm and I'm I got those like electric like teeth shivers, right? And I don't know if it's like cold, shock, trauma, probably a combination of both, right? We get in the house, he's like, are you gonna be cool, man? Are you gonna be okay? And I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm cool. I don't think I was actually like that, but I just wanted to be cool for you guys because that's validation. And so he's like, cool, man, just sleep it off. You're gonna be fine, right? Okay. So, oh, thank God. I'm just like, wow, how did I not die? Like, I looked at my helmet. My helmet was like fractured in fucking pieces, man. Like, it was super gnarly. And so I get in my room and I'm like, holy shit, like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, Jehovah, and all the other ones that aren't white. I get in my room and I'm like, thank God I'm alive. I go to take a deep breath and lean up against my wall and just be grateful that I'm still here. Leaning up against my wall. Only it's not my wall, it's my window, and my window's open. I shit you not, I fell 8 feet back out of this fucking window into the jungle and landed on the exact same arm. It was like falling in a fucking dream. I couldn't even believe. This is ridiculous. So what did I start doing? I started laughing. Why? Because the hilarity, even in that moment, even all fucked up, the hilarity of the moment was not lost on me that I fell out of a fucking window after a scooter accident into the jungle. And then all of a sudden it starts hurting so much, so I start crying. So I'm laughing and crying like the fucking Joker. And all of a sudden I start seeing all these lights turning on in the house. And I'm in the jungle now. Like, I fell directly down in the jungle. So I'm trying to fucking army crawl with one arm because my other arm isn't working. I'm one arm army crawling up through the jungle, laughing, and crying, And as I'm doing that, I shit you not, my shorts start falling off. And now I'm just in my underwear. I'm muddy, I'm bloody, and I'm looking for a good time. So, I'm crawling up through there. Holy shit, man. I get to the top and everyone's like, are you okay? I'm just like, I want my mommy. And they're like, you gonna be okay for tonight? I'm like, yeah. So they put me to bed. The next morning I wake up. Oh man, this shit is not feeling right. I tell my friends it's not feeling right and they're like, you need to go to the hospital. And I was like, I definitely do need to go to the hospital. Also, there's a Cirque du Soleil clown that I'm living with right now who is doing his first workshop at 11. It's about 9 now, so 2 hours to the workshop. I'll do a couple hours and I'll go. And they're like, you need to go now. And I was like, but the clowning. But the clowning. They made me go. It was a broken collarbone. Holy shit, that whole experience, like, ooh, I'm getting all worked up. Getting all hot and bothered. Might have to air out these Illuminati turtles. I'm getting... And then, dude, so I had a broken collarbone. Did not have travel insurance. I've never had travel insurance my whole life. It's a scam. It's made up by the globalists. It's made up by the globalists. It's a scam, the travel insurance. I never need it. Dude, I would go to like India for like 4 or 5 months. I would go into the Amazon, deep in the heart of malaria country. I would do all this shit. Never had health insurance. This trip is the first time I've ever had health. You know it's bad when my wild ass buys health insurance. That's when you know we're headed for the end, folks. or just the beginning, because out of the end comes the new beginnings if you're still alive. That was a gnarly injury, man. A broken collarbone ain't nothing to fuck with. It ain't nothing to fuck with. You know, my arm was like pretty goddamn mangled. Like, you couldn't move it. The thing about a broken collarbone, it's not like a broken wrist or something where you have to protect your wrist, but the rest of you is like pretty free form, like pretty good to go. With a broken collarbone, like any little movement is like fucking agony. Like sitting down, standing up, even walking at a reasonable, like everything hurts, okay? And the thing about Bali is they don't have like good drugs at all. Like they're super illegal. Like it's weird because it's one of the coolest, it's my favorite place in the world. Some of the coolest people, some of the most relaxed energy at the world. But at the same time, if you smoke a joint or commit a little bit of buggery, they're gonna kill you. So I don't know. It's a give and take, a yin and a yang, if you will. So they don't have good drugs in Bali. And I have a friend that knows a friend in the hospital, and she's trying to pull some strings to get me some of that good shit. Because you know, I like some of that good shit. She's trying to get me some of that good shit. I'm repeating stuff a lot today. I don't know, I'm all worked up. I'm on quite a stack. I'll tell you about it after this story. So she tries to get me whatever she can, right? All I can get is tramadol. If you guys don't know about tramadol is a very shitty, like, synthetic opiate. It was like the government got their hands on some, like, beautiful opiate. Like, they took something really, like, nice and euphoric, like oxycodone or Vicodin or codeine, which you should never do, kids. There should not be children watching this. There should be children. It's informative. Shut up. And so it's like they took a wonderful pill with a lot of euphoria that's actually not that bad for you. Who's convincing who? And then they just took all the fun out of it. They just took all the pleasure and all the happy. They just made it like all governmenty. It's like, you know, when the government does weed, like in Canada, the government does weed. Only the government could fuck up weed. Jesus Christ. Like, how hard is that? Wow. 2021 and you're still fucking up weed, government, and these are the people we trust us to get out of this goddamn pandemic when they're financially fucking incentivized to keep us. So all I can get is tramadol. All I can get is this fucking tramadols, and they suck, man. And I'm just fucking eating them by the handful because they suck. And if I'm gonna be in bed, I came to this place in Bali to be the circus teacher. I had all these big plans, teach all these classes, do all this shit. And then all of a sudden I was all shattered and broken with my collarbone. My fault, sure, it still fucking sucked. So I'm lying in bed feeling sorry for myself, looking at other countries. You know, I have a form of escapism where if I'm not happy with my situation, I'll look at plane tickets because I'd rather run away from things than address my own issues, which is why my demons follow me even to paradise, but we're learning and working on it. My angels follow me too. And so I'm looking at different places to go. I'm eating these tramadols. I'm utterly fucking depressed. Because if you know me, you know the shine wave, it goes up and it goes down. My ex-girlfriend said I might be bipolar. Bipolar. She said I might be bipolar. I think I'm winning, and bi is in, okay? We know that. So I'm eating these pills. I'm depressed as fuck. 2 days go by. 3 days go by. And then I hear my friends, and they're talking about celebrating this Balinese New Year's called Nyepi. Balinese New Year's is fucking awesome. They do these giant parades through the street where they make these ogo statues, which are giant like angels and gods and deities and demons, like the shit you see on ketamine. They make these giant fucking statues and then they get under them and they parade them through the street. This one looked like the Predator. He had skulls all around him and a fucking trident. Killed a man with a trident brick. You better lay low. It's wicked, man, and it's like a huge source of pride. Like all these villages create these ogos, and then they compete, and the villages get awards and prizes. It's something they work on all year. The Balinese are some of the most artistic, creative, beautiful people, and this is like their big ass celebration. And all my friends are gonna be involved with the local village, Tampak singing, shout out Tampak to the sea ring, and they're gonna all be involved in it, right? And my heart is just broken, man. I just got to Bali, like all I want to do is be a part of this like beautiful ceremony. And I'm sitting there, I'm hearing them talk, I'm hearing them get excited, I'm fucking crying, I'm eating pills. I'm crying and I'm eating pills. It's crazy when you just like relive it, right? And then I hear them talking about this thing. And in this moment, I'm just like, you know what, you have a fucking choice. It's time to shut up or nut up. And so I fucking swallow the rest of those pills down. I get out some goddamn duct tape like a Canadian, and I fucking tape this arm up. And then I put this leather holster over it. Swallow those traumies. And I'm like, let's do it. Let's go. And they're like, you're gonna come, dude? You're gonna come after your injury? And I was like, yeah, why not? I'm traummy to the gills. Let's go. I'll come at you like a spider monkey. I don't move this blind. Too much. That's better. Shampoo is better. And so I decide, guys, I'm a roller coaster today. When are you not? When are you? Shut up. Whose side are you on? It shuts up. And so we show up, and there's massive crowds, right? And like I said, I can barely walk, I can barely move. Like my collarbone is like pretty fucking mangled at this point. But who cares? Let's do it, you know? Grab a couple ciggies. Probably get a little drink down there. Just a little something to wet my beak, because you boys got that large Norwegian beak. And then I perform with them, guys. And like, how the fuck did you perform 3 days after a major break that needed surgery that you didn't get because you don't believe in health insurance because the globalists? And I perform in this fucking thing with a major goddamn break, this arm strap. Everybody knows I'm in. It's so blatantly apparent, not in my performance, but in the way I'm walking and holding myself. I always come and bring the game, okay? If you book me, and no one will after seeing this know that I always come to bring the game. I do a performance with a fucking one-armed fire sword performance, and I'm moving all slow, all stoic. We pulled it off, man. I did a bunch of shows. They absolutely loved us. I was a goddamn legend in this town. Like, I would come to this little town of Tampax, Syrian, people would just like recognize me and shit. That became like my stomping ground because I had a fallout from the cult that I was living in. I've lived in a lot of cults. And then I would just go there. I would go to this like little tiny, store area, and this guy had all these metal posters. He had like Pantera, Megadeth, so I was just like hanging out one day, and then I asked if they sell a rock, which is the Balinese moonshine, and they did. So it just became my thing, man. I would go and sit down in this place, a bunch of the local like teenagers or young adults, they recognized me, and we would listen to fucking Indonesian death metal, and I would smoke a pack of these Sampawerna mild white clove cigarettes. Oh, they're like candy. Half the nicotine, 5 times the amount of tar. You're gonna go tar, kid. And I would just drink this. It was $2.50 for a 500 milliliter bottle of an alcohol that's about 30%. Now don't look up a rock, because if you do, you might hear the critics tell you that it'll make you blind. So what you need in your crew, you need one good alcoholic who's been drinking for a long time, and if at least 50% of his peepers are still working, you're good to go. So man, I dropped like $10, get like 4 bottles of these rocks, we chain smoked cigarettes, I would fucking practice my Indonesian, which was getting really decent. You guys, you want my secret to when I learned Indonesian? Allegedly. Take acid during the day, okay? It's gonna be best if you start at a micro. Eventually your micro will get up to a macro. Eventually you'll get to about like a half a hit in the morning and a half a hit in the afternoon of LSD. And then, so you learn on the acid, okay? Your brain's like a psychedelic sponge, soaking up the wisdom of the world, soaking up the wisdom of the language, soaking up the wisdom of the beautiful country of Bali. And then at night, you get wasted because then you practice. Statistically, drinking booze makes learning, okay? That's a quote, you could write that down. So I was a fucking maniac. I don't know why I'm talking about Bali when I'm in Mexico, but man, there's some really, really good stories. Like, I'm gonna make like a whole other episode, I think, strictly about this, because there's so many wild good times. Like, I was drinking like full-fledged, like, functioning alcoholic. Like, I would, every night, I would drink like a rock with these guys and smoke cigarettes, just like every fucking night, maybe like one night off a month for like 2 months or something. And then in the morning, I was teaching Circ Fit class in the morning. I was the fitness instructor with a broken arm who could barely move, who was like, I would wake up, I'd stay up till like 12 or 1 in the morning, like drinking booze. I'd wake up at like 6 in the morning. I would like take my fucking scooter, one arm, down to the 7-Eleven, and I would buy like all these Indonesian energy pills and shit and just start like bombing those down and eating kratom and taking fucking acid, smoking a ciggy, and then showing up to my fucking circuit class. All right, let's go, you know? I had 2 students, man. We did it at 7:30 every morning. Shout out Nicholas, Giselle. I'm pretty sure Giselle watches this. Fucking love you. And it was a good time, man. It was a dark time. There was definitely like long periods of like wanting to kill myself. But I don't know, I want attention so much that I would not, this is not a cry for help. This is not a cry for help. I'm being open and vulnerable with you guys because probably some of you have struggled with some mental health shit. And I don't even know, sometimes I use these videos like a therapy session to understand like what's going on better in my, like I'll watch them later, I'm like, it's very interesting when he says that. So I don't even know, I like attention so much. Like, I like attention so much that I would not be surprised if my brain was like, hey, I want to off myself, just to get attention from me, you know? I wouldn't be surprised. But there was some a theme you'll see in the show, there's some very, very highs and some very, very lows in Bali. But you gotta ride it out, man. That was a crazy time. A wild time. Now back to Mexico, where are we? It's like April 7th or 8th, I have like 22 days left in this place. 22 days to figure out what the fuck I wanna do. I wanna go back to Canada, but shit's looking dire. Oh, the variant. Did you guys hear about the AstraZeneca like creating blood clots? They're like, yo, so there may be some, if this is what they're admitting to, what the fuck do you think they're sweeping under the counter? They're like, yeah, it might cause occasional blood clots in the brain. It might, and you'll have to forgive me, it might cause occasional blood clots in the brain. I don't think that's good. I think your chances of getting David, are probably, you want a blood clot, I don't know, but even if you point that out, people are like, oh, you're the conspiracy thing. 'Cause I can read? Not well, it's about at a 5th grade level, but well enough to know there's some fucking weird shit. Well enough to know that maybe trying out an experimental vaccine that's creating blood clots on a mass scale. I don't know, maybe there's gonna be some variables with this experiment. Not sure. That must be great. You're a conspiracy theorist. Fun times. I don't know. It looks like Ontario's locking down. They're like, you didn't stay at home. It's like, motherfucker, what else do you like? I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting mad. I don't know if I should come back to Canada is like what I'm saying. I gotta like wrap up my room, consolidate some shit. Things are popping here still, baby. It's so hard to know what I should do because I'm so prone to like extreme mood swings up. And it's so like, when my mood swings up, I'm like, this is the greatest place. I'm never gonna fucking leave this place. I love it so much. When my mood swings down, I'm like, I hate it. Let's go somewhere. Could I be a sex slave in Dubai? Aim for the moon, shoot for the stars. That's what they say, old Davy boy. And so like, I don't know, man. I got a comedy show tonight though. Your boy's hosted the hottest, because it's the only, open mic in town, Agquari Limon. I'm doing Freak Show Friday. It's a trippy little fucking drag cabaret thing. I don't know, your boy might get to put his super spread dick out and put it on some faces. Not sure, we'll try to post some videos of that. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification button over there and hit the other thing right over there so you can see more videos of me putting my dick in somebody's face. I don't know, I might have to move on to Patreon and shit and create some different kind of content. We can keep that separate, okay? So moving forward, man, we'll see. I thought my visa ran out, because you get when you come to Mexico, you get 6 months in the country, right? I thought it ran out in May. Apparently I have until June. But I think the flights are opening up in May. But man, like all the hotel quarantines and shit, I don't know, man. This guy I've been watching on Instagram, Chris Guy, he's been added to all these no-fly lists. I already can't go in the States. I really don't need to not be able to fly within the country as well. Okay? I really don't. So, what do you guys think? Vote in, call in. Should I stay? Should I go? What's gonna happen? I think I'm gonna wrap up this video because I'm ranting like a fucking madman. But I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been a roller coaster. Actually, before I... Okay, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up before I... Hey. Thank you for watching, guys. If you liked this video, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it with a friend, shoot me a message. You know I'm desperate and seek validation, so help your boy out. Shiny D here, loving you guys. Thank you for watching. Take care.